All right, my beautiful hikers and travelers, I hope you thought that was a fantastic hike. If you want to see more of it, please head to my last video. We are now back in the village of Agulo, and we're going to have a local lunch in Restaurante Alameda. And the first thing we are having in Restaurante Alameda is an Aquarius. Aquarius in Spain is a sport and hydration drink made by Coca-Cola. So when you're thirsty in Spain, be sure to reach for Aquarius and nothing else. Now, for our local lunch, Restaurante Alameda is one of the more popular and casual places to eat in Agulo. They have a very simple menu, as you can see here, but the spot is super popular. The locals eat here and the service was absolutely incredible. Now, let's get into what I ordered for my first dish at Restaurante Alameda. This is Queso Asado con miel de la palma. It's a traditional Canarian dish of grilled local cheese drizzled with the island's rich palm honey. It's sweet, it's smoky, and it's absolutely delicious. If you love cheese, Queso Asado is a must-try on any Canarian island. Next up, for our local lunch, we had churros de pescado. Churros de pescado translates to fish churros, and in the Canary Islands, this is a very popular local dish. Churros are a Canarian favorite made of tender fish pieces coated in a light, crispy batter, kind of like fish fritters or fish sticks, but with a local twist. So be sure to try fish churros visiting any Canarian island. Last, but certainly not least, you cannot forget about dessert. This was a fantastic pineapple cake that a server's mom there makes for the restaurant. It was seriously so delicious. And I love that extra local touch with that. So I was so hungry, but now for the fun part. How much do you think all of this food was? Can you believe all of that food was under 20 euros? Only in La Gomera. If that was in Madrid, that would easily be double the price. All right, so we just left the restaurant. I took the bread that they gave me and I'm going to save it for dinner because, as you know, I'm staying in an apartment and I do have a supermarket nearby, but they didn't have fresh bread yesterday and I'm not going to go today because they're already closed. So yeah, got some bread for the day. Thank you, Father, for this daily bread. So what's nice about staying in Agulo is even though I don't have a car rental and I am in a village, this village actually has a lot. Like, let me just show you. They have a mini market coming up and an ATM. So if you happen to stay in Agulo when you visit La Gomera, Spain, look at this. They even have a Caixa bank. They have a full bank branch location and obviously the ATM inside. And then they have the mini market right here. And that's where I'm going to go get water. So after food, I just went to the supermarket and got some things like toilet paper, paper towels, and water. Definitely need some water. I also got some more fruit. I got pears and peaches. And then I also got lip balm that has SPF in it because the sun is burning. Now it looks a little bit grayer because it's actually a lot cooler. But when I was on that hike, boy, it was so sunny and it was hot. So I just got back from the pharmacy. Just got sunscreen and face cream because I'm running out of sunscreen and I actually forgot face cream, so I had to go buy that. I was excited to show you these brands because the lady said they're medicated pharmaceutical brands from Spain. It looks like Barcelona. And here's a glance of what these creams look like. Nesida is the name of the brand, and Nesida is a Spanish dermo pharmacy brand or pharmacy skincare. The products are usually stocked in Spanish pharmacies, and the pricing suggests a more affordable segment of pharmacy skincare in Spain. The pharmacist recommended Nesida as a good value pharmacy brand for sun protection and skincare. The pricing is quite affordable as the sunscreen was about 10 euros and so was the face cream. Here's a glance of the texture of the sunscreen. It is super lightweight, and what I liked most about this sunscreen specifically is that it has antioxidants. Antioxidants in your skincare helps a lot with pores and blackheads, so that was really nice to see. And lastly, if you happen to want to try any Nesida skincare products, be sure to head to a local Spanish pharmacy near you to see if they carry it. Aco Pharma is also the parent company of Nesida in case they don't recognize the brand Nesida. And here's the last glance at this Nesida sunscreen. Some other benefits of this Nesida sunscreen are its silky texture, it's anti-aging, it has antioxidants and is anti-pollution. It has protection against blue light. And lastly, it's for all skin types and is water resistant, which is great. The last thing I want to mention about Canarian skincare is the lip balm I got. It had Canarian aloe vera in it. And pro tip, you definitely need a lip balm with good SPF if you're going to go hiking in La Gomera, Spain. And speaking of hiking, we are now going to start the hike or Sendero Pescante de Agulo. This hike was easily one of my favorites in La Gomera. It's quite short as well, so if you're staying in or near the village of Agulo when you go visit this beautiful island, this is a must-do hike for scenery, history, and even a little bit of adventure. And while we make our way down to Pescante de Agulo, let me give you a little bit of background on why this place is so special. The Pescante de Agulo was actually once a crane that was built out on the coast to load bananas and other produce onto ships from the cliffs above. Today, what you'll see at Pescante de Agulo are mainly the two tall concrete pillars that remain standing above the waves. The hike from Agulo to the Pescante is about 25 minutes each way. And now here's everything you need to know about swimming in the Pescante de Agulo. The sea around the Pescante de Agulo is very rough. There's strong waves and currents, as you can see, and there's a steep rocky coastline. For that reason, many sources advise that it's not safe for swimming. If you do want to go swimming in the Pescante de Agulo, I would highly recommend to do what the locals do, which is to go into the water before the breakwater. If you're not familiar with a breakwater is a natural or artificial rock structure in the ocean that calms waves. That's exactly what you'll find in this Pescante, and it's basically like a small natural pool within this diameter. Something else that's very important to know about the Pescante is that the tide does get high by mid-afternoon, so you'll want to swim here earlier on in the day. There are never any lifeguards on site here, so swimming here is clearly swimming at your own risk. If you want to dip in the Pescante de Agulo, be sure to check the conditions, tell someone where you're swimming, and go during early hours when there are also other people there and the water is low tide. Be sure to never ever swim alone and try to stay close to shore whenever possible. And lastly, definitely bring good water shoes to protect your feet from all those rocks. You will be so much more comfortable having good water shoes and going for a walk and or swim here. If you want sand beaches versus pescantes and rocky beaches in La Gomera, Spain, be sure to go to the south of the island and visit places like Valle Grande and San Sebastián de la Gomera. And the last pro tip I have for you is if you do hike Pescante de Agulo, be sure to bring a good hat and good SPF, as it does get really hot in this part of the island, especially during summer and when there's calima. All right, and now we have made our way back to the restaurant where we had a local lunch today, Restaurante Alameda, and we're going to have a local dinner. This is a very classic dish in the Canary Islands, and it's called garbanzas. It's basically a Canarian chickpea stew. Garbanzas are made with chickpeas, pork or beef, often chorizo, ribs or bacon, onions, garlic, tomatoes, and a blend of spices like paprika and cumin. Everything simmers together beautifully until it becomes thick, smoky, and super flavorful, kind of like Spain's version of a chili or bean stew, but with that unique Canarian twist. So if you want to try garbanzas, you can find them in small local restaurants in La Gomera or at local bars. Garbanzas aren't fancy food, but it's real island soul food.